Thank you so much, Scott, and thank you, Wint, for stepping in. Welcome, everyone. I know we had hoped to be able to see each other in person by this point, but of course the Delta variant had other designs, so unfortunately we're still remote and have been that way for some time. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for kind of hanging in there and for attending today. So on behalf of Wint and myself, again, welcome. Our first step here is to review the agenda, which was circulated in advance, and to ask for any comments on the agenda before we begin. And okay, hearing none, hearing none, there is one matter I wanted to address right away, which is I've got some sad news to report today, which is one of our beloved members, Erin Tobin, who I believe is here, has had to step down from the board because she's actually moving from the Valley, heading up toward the Adirondacks. We've appreciated her guidance, her participation, and just I think all of us who've worked with her know just what a quality professional she is and how much she loves the Valley. And I thought it would be only appropriate to let her know how much we care about her, how much we'll miss her, how much we appreciate her service, and also to give her a chance to say a few words as she gets ready to go up to the Adirondacks. Erin, are you here?
I am. Thank you so much for those kind words, Kevin. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. And thank you for your service.
Oh, well, it's been my pleasure. I just wanted to say that since I joined the Preservation League in 2007, I've been attending these Greenway meetings, and I was so honored to join the Conservancy Board in 2019. I only wish I could have attended more in-person meetings prior to COVID and to leaving to take this position with Adirondack Architectural Heritage. But partnering with the Greenway and the National Heritage Area has been a highlight of my time at the Preservation League. And I just wanted to call out one of our successful partnerships with the Greenway and National Heritage Area has been through our TAG program, which the National Heritage Area has supported since 2018. And I have a cool fact, some cool facts and figures, which is over 3 grant rounds, 2018, 19, and 20. We have our 4th grant round open right now. The National Heritage Area support has led to 24 grants to municipalities and arts and cultural nonprofits within the National Heritage Area. And the National Heritage Area's $30,000, which is that cumulative over 3 years, has leveraged over $85,000 in awarded grants. So that's pretty cool. It's almost tripled the investment. So I just wanted to say, too, as I move on to the Adirondacks, the Greenway and all of you really represent the best in regional collaboration and communication and public-private partnership across the local, state, and national levels. This is a really incredibly remarkable organization and group of people. So thank you, Kevin and Scott and the Greenway staff and the Conservancy Board and everybody else on the Conservancy, Communities Council, and National Heritage Area. I'm going to really miss working with you all, and I wish we could be together, but I'm grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so
this
much,
is
Erin.
Wint. I would like just to add a word of appreciation for Erin's splendid work at the Preservation League, which has certainly enhanced the work of the Greenway in so many ways over the years. And also to say that she's going to a perfectly wonderful organization. It's now over 25 years old, almost 30 years old, addressing historic preservation policies and programs throughout the Adirondack region. And the Adirondack region touches the upper lengths of our own region. And of course, the Hudson River rises in the central Adirondacks. And so Erin is not going to be very far away from us and will continue to do wonderful work up there. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you, Wint. Thank you so much.
That's great.
I second everything they said, but they said it so much better than I can. I'm just going to shut up at this point.
Thank you, Scott, and thanks, everyone. Okay, moving on. We have to now have a couple of approvals, and so let's do that now. The first is to approve the minutes from our June 10th meeting. which was a conference call of the combined entities here. And again, these were sent out in advance for you to review. So if there are any comments, let us know. And if not, I will move forward to ask for a first and a second for those.
I'll make it first. Linda?
Bob, thank you for first. And was that Linda?
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you both. Okay, all in favor of accepting these June 10th meeting minutes, please signal by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Great, okay. And now we need to approve, this is just for the grants committee. We had a conference call a couple weeks ago on September 27th, which you'll be hearing about those grants today. And again, we just need to approve those minutes. This is just for grants committee members only. I will need a first and a second.
I'll make a motion. Lancetta.
Okay, Bob
second
first
is
and Cindy second. Okay,
Right.
okay. Wonderful. I think we've got plenty there. Thank you all. So all in favor, please signal by saying aye.
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 Any opposed or any recusals? Okay, great. All right, so that brings us to the Communities Council portion of the agenda. And for that, I'll turn it over to Wint.
And this is Wint. I call the council meeting to order.
All right. And I'll take it from here if you want, Wint.
Okay.
All right. The mayor of the city of New York, Mayor de Blasio, on September 2nd appointed he has two appointments to the board, one for the Bronx, one for New York City, and he refilled both of those appointments. The first person is Anthony Skip Piscatelli. He is the counselor and senior advisor for CMW Strategies in New York. Welcome, Skip, and would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you very much. I'd like to thank the chairs and Director Keller. It's really an honor to be appointed by the mayor. This will be the fifth mayor that I've had an opportunity to serve in their administration, and I look forward to meeting you all in person and participating in your great work.
And the second, only in alphabetical order, is Matthew Schneid. Matt is a partner at Cole Schatz PC, a New York City-based real estate legal firm. Welcome, Matt, and would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Thanks so much for having me. I really look forward to working with this team. You know, I love the outdoors and I love hiking, and I love this part of the world. I particularly spend a lot of time by my apartment on the Greenway in New York, but when I can, I get up to the little northern reaches from me. And if there's anywhere I can contribute my expertise, it'd be a real pleasure. I look forward to being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Kevin, do you have anything to add?
No, we just welcome them, and very good to have good representation from our great city of New York.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay, moving on, we have two community designation requests. The towns of Lexington in Greene County and Hebron in Washington County are both seeking to become Greenway communities. Both have passed the requisite resolutions requesting designation, and I want to thank Jeannie Williams for encouraging both communities to take this step. Are there any questions about the designations? Hearing none, we'll move on to the Community Council Compact Grant. The Village of Hastings-on-Hudson, Westchester County is seeking to update their comprehensive plan. They've requested $20,000 to do so, and the Grants Committee recommends $20,000. The project will update their 2011 comp plan to benefit the area by addressing environmental sustainability, the downtown, multimodal circulation, natural asset protection, sustainable infrastructure, large tracts, and responsible development of the formerly industrial waterfront. Once adopted, the comp plan update will be a blueprint for future development and conservation. Does anyone have any comments on the grant or questions about the grant? Okay. Acting Chairman Aldrich, we need a motion to welcome our new board members, accept the two new Greenway communities, and approve the grant to Hastings-on-Hudson.
I ask for those motions. Oh, I guess it's a consolidated motion.
Correct, a single consolidated motion.
I second it. This is Betty Head.
I don't think we have a motion yet. If you want to make the motion,
I
Betty.
thought I heard that. Okay, I make such motion.
Okay, Bob Elliott will second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Excellent. Thank you, Wint. Hearing concludes the council meeting, and we can move on to the Conservancy. Kevin?
Wonderful, Scott. Thank you, Wint. The Conservancy portion of the meeting, I call that to order right now. And we'll start with the big enchilada, the Empire State Trail. I think that Andy is here to give us an update on that.
Thank you, Kevin, and good morning, everyone. I'm going to update you on Empire State Trail activities that the Greenway and our partners have been pursuing this year. And then secondly, I'll focus specifically on the Albany-Hudson Electric Trail in Rensselaer and Columbia counties. So on the Empire State Trail, New York State, the Greenway did issue a final report, about a dozen pages long. It is in the packet, the PDF that was emailed to all board members. You can review it at your convenience. It just ties a nice ribbon around the project that, of course, was completed in December 2020 with pictures, maps, charts, and listings of the 58 construction projects that were completed between 2017 and the end of 2020 to construct the trail. If anyone has any questions on that, feel free to reach out to me, shoot me an email, or give me a call after the meeting. The trail has been heavily used this year. Again, it's been very, very popular. We've gotten a lot of positive press coverage, and that continues. So all in all, very much continuing to be a successful endeavor. In terms of work underway in 2021, although the trail was announced as complete last December, there's still plenty more to do, of course. One item we've been working on is working with state agencies and local government partners to rehabilitate and resurface some older sections of the trail that, some are as many as 20 years old or older, whether asphalt or stone dust in deteriorated condition. So between some state funding we had left in the Empire State Trail, other state funds, local government commitments, 11 projects have been queued up that in total will resurface 50 miles of the trail. In total, old sections in poor condition. In the Hudson Valley, those include the resurfacing projects are located in Waterford, Cohoes, Albany County, City of Hudson, New Paltz, and Westchester. Again, some of these are state projects. Others, like Westchester, is a county project. And then in the Erie Canalway Trail section, we have projects that we are undertaking in Herkimer County, in Little Falls, west of Utica, and west of Rome. So a total of 11 projects. Of those, 2 projects construction is complete, 5 are under construction as we speak for completion this fall, and the remaining 4 are well along in design and will be constructed in calendar year 2022. Switching gears, State Parks secured a significant several $100,000 grant from USDA Northern Regional Border Commission to promote the Empire State Trail in New York State, and we've been using that funding for a number of initiatives. This is the Greenway and Parks together implementing that, including upgrades to the Empire State Trail website. We've added a number of features to increase the usefulness of the Empire State Trail website. Many of those are now live. In the way of example, you can now, on your mobile phone, you can share your location, and you see your location on the online maps as a blue dot, just like you would on, Google Maps or another service. So it allows people to use their phone as a navigating device along the trail. It's one of many additional features we've added to the website, and that work will be wrapped up by the end of this fall. On the website, there's a Contact Us button at the bottom of the home page, and since the website went live about a year ago, we've received several thousand emails have come in from members of the public, so people clearly are using the website, and all sorts of questions come in. The number one question, surprised me, was, where do I get a paper map of the trail? We had created digital maps, of course, a very, sophisticated digital mapping on the website, but there's still a lot of people that want to hold that piece of paper in their hand. So we're using the federal grant to produce a really nice, large format, printed, folded map that we just have finished the design on, and that's going to the printer. The printing will occur either next week or the week after. And because it's funded with a federal grant, we'll be distributing those free of charge to the public and to tourism, promotion agencies across the trail, and anyone else who wants copies of the map. So we'll be getting that out there. It's a map of the statewide trail. It also has a bunch of information and pictures. It's it's both promotion as well as a physical map. So that map will be available. Certainly, we'll provide it out to the Greenway, to the board members. When it's available later this fall, but it will be, we expect to have it in hand certainly in November. Finally, the Empire State Trail has been getting a lot of positive press coverage, and we also used a portion of the grant to fund there's a woman named Darley, I'm blanking on her last name. She produces Travels with Darley, which is a PBS show where she goes around the world and does outdoor recreation and features what you find along in various beautiful places around the world. So she's producing a Travels with Darley episode that will air on PBS this winter about the Empire State Trail. So that'll be a really nice piece for us as well. Switching gears, the last thing on the Empire State Trail, a new fun initiative we're working on. We want to collect information about trail usage, how many people are actually out there using the trail. And to do that, the Greenway has purchased, they'll be delivered in the coming weeks, 10 automated trail counters. These are small little nondescript boxes that use infrared sensor just to count people that going by wherever they're installed and store that data, and then comes with software to allow us to prepare all sorts of detailed reports about trail usage, days of the week and hours of the day and seasons and everything else. So we've purchased 10 counters, and we're going to be installing those this fall on the Hudson Valley section of the Erie Canalway Trail. I'm sorry, of the Hudson Valley section of the Empire State Trail. So from Westchester County north all the way to Washington County, we're going to install those 10 counters at various locations, leave them in place for a year, collect robust, use information, and then in year 2, we'll move them to 10 other locations and so forth. So it'll be a little while before we have any data to report, but certainly a year from now, when we've completed the first 12 months of data, we will prepare a report, a public report on, the initial findings of that. And we'll be updating that annually. We'll also be working with Parks and Trails New York, who implements a similar program on the Erie Canalway Trail section. So we'll be able to, we're using the same technology for counting, so we'll be able to combine that into a statewide Empire State Trail usage data program. I'll keep going and then open it up for questions. On the Albany Hudson Electric Trail, the 36-mile trail that the Greenway oversaw construction, we're responsible for operations and maintenance from the city of Albany to the city of Hudson in Rensselaer and Columbia counties. The trail also opened in late December to public use, as you know. Everything's been going great. The trail's been getting very positive reviews, high amounts of usage. We've had no major issues or controversies to date. So, we're learning a lot in the first year of operating the trail, working with our local government and nonprofit partners, but it's been a very positive experience so far. We have been, there are, a few areas where we've got to go back and do some very selected areas, some minor issues where we have a few issues like with drainage or other issues. And so we have our contractors continuing to just do some spot work and closing out any punch list items. And we've had, as I said, excellent partnerships with local governments, towns and villages along the way, as well as 2 nonprofits, the Columbia Friends of the Electric Trail, the Rensselaer Land Trust, that actually do the day in and day out mowing and maintenance along the trail. Last item on AHEAD is parking areas. Last year, when the trail was originally constructed, we had 8 formal parking areas that were created along the 36 miles. Last year, the board approved the Greenway seeking to create several additional parking areas, 4 new parking areas which were constructed. And so there are now a total of 10 formal parking areas plus 3 small pull-offs just that hold 3 cars each along 36 miles. Generally speaking, the parking is meeting the demand. You know, there's a few occasionally on a really nice Saturday or Sunday, the parking gets a little overcrowded, but we're generally in good shape on parking. We did have the board approve an additional proposal at the last board meeting to the Greenway was negotiating. I was negotiating with a private landowner in Schodack in Rensselaer County who owned a lawn parcel next to the trail where we were hopeful to create an additional parking area there. That did not come to fruition. We got as far as appraising the property, and the landowner declined the Greenway's purchase offer, which was a fair market value offer. So that's not coming to fruition. So there are a few places, particularly in Schodack, and where we would like to find somewhere to create additional parking, you know, near the trail. We don't have any immediate opportunities, but we'll continue to pursue that. So that's my report. We're very busy, a lot going on, but certainly, you know, all good, basically all good stuff. And, you know, we have operations, maintenance, and other issues on the Empire State Trail, but everything's moving in a positive direction.
I'd like to add one thing, Andy, before you open up for questions. I want to point out to the boards that Andy kind of glossed over this because he's dealing with these numbers all the time, but Andy's responsible for completing 58 construction projects in 4 years and building or improving 386 miles of trail. That amount of work in that time frame is just phenomenal. He did a beyond belief job and brought it in on time and under budget. So I want to add congratulations and kudos, Andy. You did a heck of a job.
Thank you, Scott.
And let me echo that. I don't know many people who could do all you did, Andy. It was, I mean, from you early on when this was just an idea, kind of a proposal, and the governor's, there it is today. It's really Herculean. All of us are just, your name will live on as long as the trail lives on, and we're really deeply grateful.
I appreciate that, Kevin and Scott. I will point out that I didn't personally do all the work. Certainly, we had, you know, the great thing about this project is we had very robust participation from many state agencies, New York State Parks, Department of Transportation, Canal Corporation, Thruway Authority, Bridge Authority, Metro North. So many state agencies participated and stepped up to the plate to build individual trail sections. You know, we kind of oversaw and led the choir, but there were many people singing. And we also had 14 local governments that constructed trail segments, some from Empire State Trail funding, which we granted to them, and some with their own funds. So it was a great collaborative project among many public entities all pulling in the same direction.
All true, but you heard the cats.
As far as I'm concerned, you know, I appreciate your modesty, but if this were a meeting in person, I think we would call for a standing ovation. Congratulations to you.
Yeah. All right. Are there any questions? Are there questions, Andy? Okay. Scott,
Hi,
do you want to move? Go ahead. Hello?
It's Kitty Brown, just from the New Paltz section of the Empire State Trail. And I just echo what everybody else has said about Andy's modesty, because even though you may not personally have been at every single one of these sites, you just exhibited such incredible cooperation, and getting all of these state agencies together was a huge job. And this trail is just a magnificent thing that was really only a dream a few years ago. So yeah, I'm part of the standing ovation here.
And he did visit all of the sites. I mean, all of the sites.
Oh, well, that picture in this report
he didn't actually shovel everything, but he did. He visited every site.
Oh, there he was, right in the report at the grand opening of the trail right here in New Paltz. So it's just been a thrill to watch. And for anybody who says government doesn't work for us, let's just point to this.
That's great. This is Betty speaking. Congratulations, Andy, for all your hard work and for everybody who was a part of this incredible project. I had a question, and that was that woman who has that, she has the TV show where she goes around the world and invites people into her visits to different places of interest in the world. When will that air? Do you have any idea?
Yes, and her name is Darlene Newman. It clicked into my head. We don't have a schedule. She was out for a week with her film crew. They just did this incredible sprint from Buffalo to Schuylerville, stopping all along the Erie Canalway Trail up to Schuylerville and as far south as New Paltz, and then she is based out in New York City, so they're going to separately be filming in New York City. So they State Parks actually facilitated a lot of the visits, and we don't have a schedule. It's in production, and it will appear probably sometime this winter. PBS, it'll air on PBS, and then it gets posted on YouTube and other PBS locations where we'll certainly send around the link when it's available so you can watch it at your convenience as well. So it'll be available as a permanent document. And the Greenway and State Parks are getting a bunch of her footage to use in other kinds of promotional, videos and materials in the future as well.
That's terrific. Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to the audit.
All right. The 2021 state fiscal year audit reports for the Public Benefit Corporation, that's Greenway Conservancy for the Hudson River Valley, Inc., and the 501c3 not-for-profit Greenway Heritage Conservancy, HRV, Inc., and a combined audit report were provided in your packet. As most of you know, the not-for-profit is legally a subsidiary to the Public Benefit Corporation. Both corporations have the same board of directors. This necessitates, in our auditor's opinion, having a combined set of statements, hence the combined audit report. Both audits have, the audits themselves are done on the individual corporations, and there's a combined report to go with the individual reports. Both audits have clean opinions with no items on either the management or the finance committee letters. As an aside, as it is a state agency, we do not keep the books for the Greenway Council. Therefore, there is not an audit for the council. However, I do approve all expenditure for the council and monitor state-generated financial reports to ensure the approved charges have been made appropriately. Our treasurer is Jane McLaughlin. Do you have anything to add to what I've said about the audit, Jane?
No, I just want to commend you and your staff for a job really well done every year, Scott. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from any of the other board members about the audit? All right, then I will move on to the Conservancy Trail Grants. The Grants Committee has recommended to the Conservancy that a total of $59,400 be awarded in this round. The first proposed award is to the Hudson Valley Rail Trail in Ulster County. That's a not-for-profit created by the town of Lloyd, and that is actually the name of the group as well as the name of the trail. They are applying for $10,000 for a public history interpretation signage. The Grants Committee recommends $10,000. This is an education interpretation project on the type of project allowable under the Conservancy Trail Grants, which will provide new interpretive signs along the rail trail running west from the walkway over the Hudson towards New Paltz. The trail runs along the former bed of the Maybrook Rail Line, a substantial portion of which was just converted into a segment of the Empire State Trail in Putnam and Dutchess counties between Brewster and Hopewell Junction. This project will be implemented by the same person who designed the Maybrook interpretive panels for Andy for the Empire State Trail. The next grant is for Bard College in Dutchess County. They are applying for a $40,000 grant for Montgomery Place pedestrian safety improvements, and the Grants Committee does recommend $40,000. This project would provide a trail between Bard College's main campus and Montgomery Place Historic Site, which is a National Heritage Area designated site. Currently, students and visitors alike may only walk between these two locales via County Route 103, a busy roadway, which is part of the Empire State Trail, but is much more suitable for biking than it is for walking. This project would provide trails alongside existing roadways between Montgomery Place and the college, as well as within Montgomery Place itself along the roads that are on the grounds. Final grant is to the town of Germantown, Columbia County. They applied for $9,408.99 for Rojan Park Improvement Project. The Grants Committee recommends $9,400. The town allows camping in this park, which is alongside the Empire State Trail, making it one of the few places on the trail in the Hudson Valley with readily available camping. The town is seeking to make improvements, including adding a stairway to the camping area from the upper level, installing an informational kiosk, installing electrical service to provide power for Wi-Fi service as they have limited cell service in the area, and installing a bike tools repair station. Are there any questions about any of these grants? Chairman Burke, we need a motion to adopt the audits and approve the grants.
Again, just Conservancy members. So we will need first and a second to start.
So moved. This is Sarah Olson.
Second, Vince.
Thanks, Vince.
Okay. Vince, you're a council member. We need a Conservancy member.
Oh, excuse me.
That's okay.
This is Betsy Jacks. I'll second.
Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you, Betsy. Okay. All right, all in favor of these two things, the grants and the audit adoption, please signal by saying aye.
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 Nays. Any recusals? Okay. Here we go.
All right.
I think now we'll go into the National Heritage Area portion of the meeting. So let's call that to order. We've got some more grants to discuss.
Yes, National Heritage Area Development Grants with a recommended total to award of $8,000 by the Grants Committee. First one is for the Friends of Mills at Statsburg, Dutchess County. They are looking to produce an introductory video to the Statsburg State Historic Site. The Grants Committee recommends $5,000. The Friends are seeking to collaborate with Parks staff to create an online video which would be available at no charge to the public. The purpose of the video is to encapsulate the story of the property's family, employees, buildings, and activities. The video would run 3 to 5 minutes and serve as both a standalone introduction to the site and an introductory familiarization piece for visitors taking the tour. Second grant is to the Village of Stillwater, Saratoga County for a Stillwater Heritage Guide. The Grants Committee they are requesting, and the Grants Committee recommends $3,000. They are working closely with Saratoga National Battlefield, which is one of our heritage area sites. And by placing these 3 wayside exhibits along the Empire State Trail, the town plans to promote the village's heritage as a means of promoting community pride and as a critical element in their community revitalization strategy. Are there any questions about either of these grants? And Linda Cooper, I'm assuming you would have to recuse yourself on the Friends of Mills grant?
Yes, that's fine. I will recuse myself on that.
All right, Kevin, I think we're ready for a motion to approve the grants.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Same drill as before. We will need a first and a second from our membership.
Either board.
Exactly.
So moved for Carly Castillo.
I second. It's Meg.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Meg. Okay, all in favor, please signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And the one recusal noted. Okay. Terrific. Okay, that brings us to the executive director's report. Scott?
All right. First item is we are working to update we're working to create a Hudson River Valley Greenway Trail Guidebook. We're working with PTNY to update our guidebook to the Greenway Trail, formerly called Cycling the Hudson Valley. The new version will now cover the Hudson River Valley Greenway and Empire State Trail conjoined route between the Battery and Whitehall. And thanks to Parks Office or subsidiary, the Natural Heritage Trust, and the Northern Border Region Commission. It will also cover the Champlain Valley Adirondack section of the Empire State Trail from Whitehall to the Canadian border. The completely revised guidebook will be called Cycling the Hudson and Champlain Valleys. We expect publication of the guidebook in the spring. It will be sold through PTNY with proceeds going to them to allow for updates to the guidebook in future years. It will be similar in style and meant to serve as a companion to their current Cycling the Erie Canal, which was published this spring and is updated with all of the new parts of the Empire State Trail. When combined, these two guidebooks will cover the entirety of the Empire State Trail. Anybody have any questions on our new guidebook? All right. The next item is not quite so cheerful. This is 30 heritage areas across the country have seen their funding authorization lapse. That's out of 55 areas, and we are one of them. We are working with Congress, the Alliance of National Heritage Areas, and other interested parties to extend the authorizations on a variety of tracks, ranging from the short term, 2 to 3 years for all areas, to individual bills for each area, to a program bill, which is the preferred option that would codify all of the National Heritage Areas as a program of the National Park Service. Congressman Sean Patrick Maloney has introduced an individual bill that would extend our funding authorization until 2036. The expiration date for all NHAs under the program bill would be set for 2037 and would be subject to reauthorization at that time. Both Erie Canalway and Champlain Valley are also facing a loss of their authorization, so that's 3 out of the 4 heritage areas in New York. The good news is we still have spending authority and currently have the ability to expend this year's appropriation through May of 2023. So we're not hurting. Nobody's going to get laid off. There's no immediate financial impacts for us. We have money to continue to spend, but we are working closely with the appropriate people to try to get this bill passed. Kevin, do you want to add anything about the letter you sent?
No, I just wanted to say that it was important that we rally for this, and I sent a letter and asked our members to consider doing the same. And I know that there was a response there that I appreciate. We just want to do everything we can to get that message out there and to make sure this is on the right people's agenda. This is actually a very, very important driver for our regional economy. And I just think that all of us need to add our voice to this to make sure that these programs continue. So
does anyone else have any questions or comments on this?
I was wondering if you could give a little background on what led to this change. For all national heritage areas, when their legislation, or just about all national heritage areas, when their legislation is passed, there is a date inserted for the expiration of funding. Our original date was 2012. It has been extended several different times, first to 2015 and then to 2021. And now we're looking to have it extended again. It's just a part of how the Heritage Area Program has been set up and how Congress has chosen to pass these designations. The designation of our Heritage Area never expires. We would almost be the Maurice D. Hinchey Hudson River Valley National Heritage Area, but funding authorization, getting funds from the federal government is extremely important in terms of implementing the program. As Kevin mentioned, the last economic impact study we did indicates that we generate about $1 billion a year in economic impact and create 10,000 jobs. we also make money for the federal, state, and local governments. We generate $103 in federal, state, and local taxes that are collected as a result of our economic activity for every dollar in federal and state appropriations that we get combined. So a return on investment of 103 to 1 is something that we're stressing to our partners is a good reason to continue this funding.
Thank you for that background. This is Sarah Olson. Is it still time to send letters?
Absolutely.
I think this is just so important. It's, as you know, the heritage areas are constantly under threat of funding being eliminated. And this sounds like it would really make a difference for a good decade plus.
Yes. It would. It would secure things for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
If there are no other...
Scott, this is
yes,
Wynn. To whom should these letters be sent? To our respective members of Congress, or are you have you provided some guidance about this?
I'm not allowed to as a state employee, but Kevin has sent an email out with the people to write to, which was the chair of the Senate Energy and Environment Committee, and the ranking member, but also to our two senators. The program bill has already passed the House.
I see.
And we're reasonably confident that things will go through the House just fine. The Senate is where things are stuck.
I'll look it up. I have it. Thank you.
Kevin, are you willing to share that email again?
Sure.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
I can resend it.
All right. Any other questions on this?
Skip Piscatelli, just a quick one. The program bill includes an extension for all the natural heritage areas, but the Maloney bill is specific to ours. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah, there are about 30 individual bills for the 30 individual heritage areas that are whose funding authorization has lapsed or will lapse by the end of this month, and that's a big ask because each of those bills would have to go through a hearing in front of the committees in both the House and the Senate, and the members there are not wild about that option. So the program bill is much the better option, where it's a single bill that covers everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Last item, I want to talk to you about our staff. All staff have returned to the office or to in-person meetings at least 2 days a week. Right now, Cody, Dan, and I are all in the office. The state is in the process of implementing a vaccination verification and testing program for all employees. This program requires all employees to provide either proof of vaccination or weekly proof of a COVID test. All staff have complied with the requirements of this program. Our staff continues to perform admirably under still trying conditions. I am deeply aware and appreciative of the uncomplaining sacrifices they have made during the pandemic. As we all face difficulties adjusting to our new reality, they have truly done an outstanding job and continue to do an outstanding job for you every day. Do either of the chairs have anything to add to anything I brought up in my report?
Well, this is I just want to add your plaudits to the staff and add to that my own your fearless leadership, Scott, as you say. I think your report, although it has some worrisome aspects, but is also pretty upbeat, and we look forward to that new guide and look forward to our December meeting.
All right. Kevin, do you have anything to add?
Totally agree. I mean, I think I've said this before. The whole idea of the Greenway is predicated on place and being able to be out and about and meeting and congregating. It's been such an extraordinary challenge to get through this whole long COVID pandemic without that ability to be tactile with our region And so I just want to say to the staff, you really kept this ship going under extraordinary difficulties, and we're grateful. I also want to thank the members. This is a period that a lot of us have had trouble getting through, and to stick to this organization, to be there faithfully, to support our organization through your volunteer service and participation, it means so much to us. We'll all hopefully look back on this, not too long from now as a memory, but right now it's a living dilemma. And I just want to thank you for your stamina, your patience, and for sticking to the Greenway and helping us get through this period. And I just look forward to being on the other side of this, so that we can be together again and we can enjoy our region fully again as a place of destination. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, Scott and team.
I echo what you just said about the board members, and I apologize for the frailty of the conference call connections and the impersonal nature of them. I really miss seeing you all, and I look forward to being back in a room together, hopefully soon, but we'll see. Does anyone else on the boards have any questions on my report? If not, I turn it over to Kevin to walk us through new business, upcoming meetings, and adjournment.
Okay, so as noted, our next meeting is December 8th. I suspect it will be virtual again, but we'll see. This is a chance also for people to comment on new business, new things we should know about in our region. So let me open it now to the floor for any comment. Going once, going twice. Business is good business in some ways. I hope anyway. So thank you again for your attendance today. Thank you for everyone for being here and all you do for our region. And I will look forward to hearing you again and speaking again on December 8th. In the meantime, enjoy the fall season. Get out there in some way and enjoy our valley. And hope you all have a good start to your holiday season before we talk again.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.